Does this look like your typical project? Tired of seeing your budget evaporate and burn up? Let's talk about how to prevent that.
Welcome to the next in our series on Agile Basics.
Next in our Agile Basics series, we want to talk about practical applications. How can you save time? How can you save money? Let's tell you.
We have asked multiple business leaders, given the opportunity to save both time and money, would you at least listen to what we had to say? The answer was a strong yes. And this saving of both time and money is exactly what an Agile transformation provides your company. We do this not through some magic formula, but by a consistent focus on the most important task to ensure teams focus on the key items and not lose focus on the main priorities of the enterprise.
Allow me to ask you a question. Presented the opportunity, and it's kind of a dream scenario, that someone was going to give you two choices. You could have $120,000 at the end of 1 year, lump sum presented to you in a check, cashier's check, or straight up cash, or every month for that year, you get an equal payment of $10,000. Which would you pick? Well, I feel like most people, they would take the monthly because you get something sooner rather than later. You're guaranteed that. Then you can invest it. You could get compound interest, etc. Well, we use that analogy because that's kind of what happens with an Agile project. Whereas with Waterfall, you say it's that 12-month project, you get nothing for the duration of that 12 months. You plan forever, you go out on this Gantt chart and you keep going and going and going. And in many cases, the business gets frustrated because they don't see anything. Whereas with Agile, you've got that continuous feedback loops, the continuous deliverables, and that's where we feel you save significant time. We've also seen Agile projects versus Waterfall, they take less time because you get it done quicker, and then the business decides in many cases they don't need the final scope items. Another benefit of Agile is by having frequent deliveries, especially when you do frequent product demos, and the business and the customer sees progress, sees quality delivery, the confidence they have in the process is significant. And what this then helps is an increased momentum and forward velocity with the team because you get positive feedback loops. And that's something, again, with Waterfall, due to its limited delivery structure, can't give you. There's no increased momentum, increased velocity based on customer feedback because it happens only at the end. Now let's talk about some specific ways Agile saves you time. First benefit of Agile is the shorter time to market. Using our sprints, 2 to 3 weeks, we're always pushing out code. The customer is always getting something, and they see that we do good work. Secondly, working as a close team, getting together every day and having things, you have team synergy and accountability, no more siloed work and hiding off in a corner. Finally, using our sprint system, we're constantly working on the most important items because, as we all know, priorities change and you need to have the flexibility to adapt to that change. And that's what you get with Agile and Scrum projects, the ability to change every 2 to 3 weeks. Make sure you're always working on the most important things, not just something someone put on a project plan 6 months before. Now let's talk about how to save money with Agile, something we're all interested in. Let me ask you another question. Do many of your projects feel just a little bit like this? No matter what you try, the project is consistently over budget, costing the company more money than it should. And many times this causes the project to be shut down completely, the staff reduced, other drastic changes that really could have been avoided with better planning and more of a focus on the near term, most important items rather than maybe a wish list of 100 or so items, that many of which were not needed. Managing both waterfall and agile projects, we've seen a pattern in which waterfall projects tend to have scope and features that are not used. And so we were really wondering, so we started to do some research and came up with some unbelievable numbers. Just kind of give you an idea how much money you can save by doing it the agile way as opposed to waterfall, just from the simple fact of all the features that are developed that are never even used. Here are the numbers. Approximately 40% of features are never used. That means not once. And then in other surveys, it says maybe 15 to 20% are rarely used. And let's just assume those 15 to 20% are valid. Maybe one VP needs it or something. But looking at 40% of features that are never used, this is the way that we approach saving money with Agile. Now let's do a side-by-side comparison of a waterfall project using an even number, 100 features, versus an Agile project with that same 100 features with constant feedback loops and constant scope reanalysis. So if you see here, you've got the 100 items on Waterfall. They're going to cost $1,000 each. So at the end of the project, you've delivered 100 and it's cost you $100,000. Looking below at Agile, you're going to see, okay, you have the 100 items, but you've identified you don't need to use 40. 20 of those might sneak through anyway, even as with the 2 to 3 week sprint reviews, you might do 20 that you really didn't need. So let's say 80 are done. Again, times 1,000, $80,000. You've just saved 20%. We would like a 20% savings. And many of you out there might be questioning that 20% number, but let me tell you, I've seen projects in which we've had 50% cost savings due to scope reduction. And the key focus there is the consistent sprint review and evaluation of scope. And it helps to have a great product owner that revisits the needs of the business instead of just coming up with a wish list without questioning it. And that's the key.
Now let's take a break for a short quiz. Let's see how you do and if you were really paying attention.
And a friendly reminder before we get to our question, please subscribe to our channel. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Now for a summary of what we have learned in this section. Hopefully, this has been quite informative for you.
While we caution that Agile is no magic bullet, we definitely see a huge advantage in saving time with Agile following the Scrum principles. By delivering something every 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to consistently deliver, consistently gain the business's trust, and with them seeing a product release that frequently, it's going to make everything go better, and the team then is also going to improve their synergy, working well together and generating more output. And then saving money is another thing. And we save money with Agile in two main ways. Focusing on, again, the benefits you get from saving time, which in many ways equals money, but also a focus on scope. And we do this via constantly changing and reprioritizing our items so that we're always working on the most important thing.
That's all for this time. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to sharing our future videos with you.